Hey folks, welcome back to Biscuits Total War. This is Biscuits giving you another online commentary for Rome Total War. And in today's episode we've got a nice 4 versus 4, which is often rare to see, especially when it's 31k, due to glitches and problems, and often there's not enough people online to actually get a decent 4 versus 4. So in this battle, I'm going to nickname it Heaven versus Titans, because at the end of the day, we've got 3 Heaven members versus 3 Titans members, and we've both roped in a couple of mercenaries to bulk up the armies to make it a 4 versus 4. Now this video is pretty much fresh off the press, as Spartan Commander would say. The battle was literally only fought last night. It's now this morning. A couple of guys asked for this video to go up as soon as possible, so you've asked, I've delivered, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's quickly outline the armies, quickly outline the builds, and then we'll crack on to the actual action. So I'm playing as the Brutii, aka the Blue Romans. I've got 4 Praetorian Cav, 3 archers, and then the rest urbans. Let's have a look at my ally here. My ally is a guy called Quinn in Dutch. Now he's actually Heaven Charlie. He's actually part of the clan before I actually started, so it's really nice to see him actually online. He may be a bit rusty because he hasn't played in some time, but I'm sure he's going to make up for it when he gets a few battles underneath his belt. So really nice to see Charlie playing. Hopefully he's going to take part in some more videos in the future. If you are watching this, Charlie, leave a little comment. It'd be good to see you actually on the channel. Let's have a quick little look at his build. He's gone for something very similar to my build. He's gone for 4 Praetorian Cav, 4 archers, and the rest urbans. So he's gone for 1 more archer than myself, and I've gone for 1 more infantry unit than he's gone. So it's pretty much mirrored one another. And the reason why we've done that, because right in front of us we've got 2 pike factions, and the archers will be really handy when it comes to taking on the pikes. Let's have a look at the next player. The next player is SR, aka the Master of Disaster. He was playing underneath Maserblaster last night as his name. He often changes his name every time we see him online, so I actually never know it's SR until he tells me it's SR. It could be some absolutely random person. Until you see him build a build, then you know it's SR, because SR always goes heavy on the archers. Anyway, he's gone for 3 archers, 5 Praetorian Cav, 1 Town Watchman, 1 Legionary first cohort, and then the rest urbans. It's rare to see the actual town watch being used. Often if you turn the clocks back a couple of years, a lot of 31k builds would also encompass a town watch unit. So I don't know if that's a bit of a nod, a bit of a salute to Charlie, but it's nice to see that unit being used. Now, talking about units that are often not used, the next player we've got is Heaven Cornovii. Now, I don't know what he was drinking, I don't know what he was smoking, but often when Cornovii plays, he likes to bring some really random builds, or he likes to bring in a couple of random units. I really don't understand the logic, but Cornovii, I know you watch these videos, so please, if you're watching this, leave a little comment. I want to know what your logic was behind this build. He has gone for 3 Praetorian Cav, that's fairly standard, 11 urbans, that's fairly standard, a couple of auxiliary archers, again that's fairly standard, 2 standard archers, which are again not very standard, but you do see it every so often, but 2 units which I've never once seen before on 31k, Roman Cav. Now these guys aren't even legionary Cav. I don't think they even have an alt attack, they're just literally cheap Cav. Now why bring them instead of bringing some Praetorian Cav? I won't know, because Praetorian Cav, even if you don't have any upgrades, they're still going to be more cost effective than Roman Cav. So yeah, Cornovii, explain your logic. I'd love to know what was going through your head. I really was gobsmacked when I saw that, but again, it's going to make the battle a bit more interesting, seeing units I've never seen before. Let's go and have a look at the enemy. Now the enemy, as I said, we're playing against the Titans. So we've got Titans Mohamed. He's brought 18 Spartans and then 2 Cretan archers. We're playing against Titans Hades. And Titans Hades has gone for 4 Cav units, 4 Companion Cav, 4 Cretan archers, and then 12 Royal Pikemen. So again, a nice little build there. Also, we have got another Titans player. This is Titans Elita, and he has gone for 6 Cataphracts, 3 Silver Shield Pikemen, and then arrest Silver Shield Legionnaires. So usually I tend to see more pikemen than legionnaires. So again, I haven't really seen this build used before, but it'd be interesting to see how Elita uses it. And then the last player who's a non-Titans member is Babu from the IoW clan, and he's gone for 2 companion cav, 1 armoured general, a bunch of royal pikemen, and then 2 crescent archers. So let's kickstart this battle and see exactly what happens. Now, opening gambit, I believe the plan for the Titans clan was to rush SR. The reason why I know that, we were actually all talking on team chat through Game Ranger, through Steam. So I was actually talking to Elita, I was talking to Babu, I believe I was also talking to Mohamed and Hades. So it's quite weird that I was actually talking to them whilst actually fighting them at the same time. So they were talking about trying to rush SR. So I was expecting Mohamed to come charging in here to try and take out SR, but it looks like he's not actually doing that. In the meantime, what I've decided to do, I've chucked forward my archers, and what I'm trying to do is shoot the backs of these legionary pikemen, or shoot the backs of these royal pikemen, just basically shoot the back of any of these units whilst they try and run to the centre. Now what's going to happen is Babu's going to see that, and now he's going to charge into his cav to try and attack my archers. I haven't got a skirmish mode on my guys, so I'm going to hold my ground, and now I'm going to counter charge that with my Praetorian cav. So my Praetorian cav is going to come in. These guys are now going to turn around and run away. I'm now going to get my archers and try and shoot the backs of these Macedonian cav units. So in comes my units here, in comes my cav. I'm now going to pull my cav back. I'm going to do quite a lot of damage on the back of these units here. As you can see, they're dropping down. Some of these are down to 51. Some of them are down to 50 odd. I'm now going to pull my cav back, because what's going to happen now, the cataphracts now going to charge in here, and they're also supported by all of these crescent archers. But what I have been able to do, I've been able to disrupt the Macedonian player, disrupt the Seleucid player. They haven't been able to get into formation, they haven't been able to go and assist and merge in the centre. So I'm fairly happy with that at the moment. My guys are just really skirmishing, using the archers, trying to shoot down some of these companion cav as and when I can. These guys are down to 44, these guys are down to 50. Roman general still intact at 25. So let's have a little zoom over here to see what's going on. Now, SR, what he's going to try and do is going to move his guys around the flank to Mohamed. And what he's trying to do is trying to skirmish, he's trying to get Mohamed to run towards him. And whilst he runs towards him, he's going to use his archers here to shoot the backs of these Spartans. The Spartans are going to be quite vulnerable from the shots from the back from these archers, but are going to be practically impenetrable from the front due to their massive shields that they hold. Let's have a little zoom back over here in the meantime. Now Cornovii is playing really well here. What I'm doing, I'm pushing forward my infantry, and as I push forward my infantry, I'm going to make sure my cav is supported here. And then that's going to give me time to actually use my archers to shoot the backs of these infantry units. And as I'm doing that, Cornovii's got his cav units just to the back there, just to make sure that my archers are always going to be surrounded. So really what we're doing is we're skirmishing, but always making sure that my archers are well and truly surrounded. Infantry to the front, my cav to the side here, and Cornovii's cav to the back here. It's really to prevent these companion cav and this general unit from charging into the back of my unit and taking out my archers. So I'm really chuffed about that, really happy about that manoeuvre. In the centre here, nothing much is really going on. Charlie's holding the centre with his infantry, as well as Cornovii is holding the centre with his units. And as and when we can, we're using these archers just to try and shoot the backs of these units once they turn around, getting a few nice little kills. Let's have a little look to see what SR is doing. Now SR is coming further and further around this flank. The only risk that he's got is that he's leaving this big gap in the centre here. So what could happen is Mohamed at some stage could charge through the centre here and really try and envelop and try and surround Charlie if he's not looking out. Again, SR is going to move further around this flank here. So look, there's a big gap here with my allies here. So what Mohamed really needs to do is get his guys, try and charge in here. He's basically grouped his guys into 2 separate units. So one unit is here, and other group is here. So this one unit could potentially hold SR, whilst this other unit comes around the flank and attacks Charlie. Now Charlie's going to move his guys probably further to this little gap here. He's seeing the gap and he doesn't want his guys being isolated. Mohamed's now seeing that, so what he's going to do now is going to charge forward with his Spartans. He's going to try and surround SR, or try and push back SR. So really nice move here. He's going to push around the side here, and then these units at some stage, what he's going to try and do is turn them around so he can try and fill in this little gap here. Let's have a look to see what's going on over here. My guys are pretty much standing still. I'm throwing Impeller into these Macedonians. I've got my archers shooting the backs of these guys. I've got my cav supporting here and Cornovii's cav here. So you've well and truly got this flank surrounded or supported. What's going to happen now, as I mentioned, Mohamed's now going to charge in his infantry unit. Look, there's this big gap of all these units here. He's going to charge in, try and push back some of these archers. Once he's pushed back these archers, what he needs to do now is come around this flank here and try and munch up and try and attack all of Charlie's Brutii units here. So in comes Hades with his cav unit. He's charging in here. In comes all of these Spartans. And what's going to happen here? Titans, SR needs to really charge in and move all of his infantry over here to try and support. Now what I was expecting to happen was that Mohamed would split his army into two. One army would try and push back SR, and the other one would actually go into attack my allies here, but it hasn't actually gone to plan. What he's done, he's actually enveloped, he's charging all of his Spartans. So what he needs to try and do is get his pikes down, try and take off guard mode, and try and take out as many of these Brutii units before we can come to assist. Because look, there's hardly any infantry units holding the line here. This big gap with our allies here. The Brutii here all being pinned down with all of these pikes. Spartans have now come into this big gap, and SR is now trying to make up for lost time and charging all of his units here and try and attack these Spartans when they're not looking. Let's have a look over here. Again, now what I've done, my infantry units that were here in front of these Macedonians, I've moved them over to the centre, and the reason being, what I want to try and do is copy what Mohamed has done. I want to try and push all of my infantry units into these Silver Shield Legionnaires, and the reason being, I know that my infantry units will be able to beat them. So I'm going to try and cut through the centre here and try and take out all of these Seleucid players. I'm now going to charge in some cav units here, and I've got some cav units in the back here. Literally everything that I've got, I'm going to try and send right into these units here and try and cause them to rout, because if we can do that, we can break the centre. Now in the meantime, SR has now eventually got his units into range here. He's going to be throwing off a few volleys of Peeler into the units here. Now what Mohamed needs to do, he needs to charge in his units here. He needs to take off guard mode and try and munch and take out as many of these units as possible. Also Elita, what he's done here, a bit of an error. He's coming with a premature cav charge. He really should have basically held this line a bit longer there before coming in with a charge, because by coming in with that charge, what's that's given? It's given SR time to actually do a nice little counter charge. In comes this Seleucid Cataphracts. Yes, he's going to rout one or two units, but it's going to be a really Pyrrhic rout, because all of SR's units are going to be able to come around the back here and isolate, surround and kill and rout all of these Cataphracts. And once these Cataphracts have gone, these Cataphracts as always are going to be the killing unit of the Seleucids. Oh, got a bit of a lag going on. So all of those Seleucid Cataphracts have pretty much been routed. Well, there's 1, 2, 3 units left, but these guys are very tired. They're tired and they're tired, so they're not going to be too strong at the end of the day. And have a look at this. Mohamed's units are now getting isolated. He should still be able to beat SR, because his Spartans should be able to beat him 1 versus 1. But the Cataphracts of the Seleucids have now run back over here to support. If you cast your memory back, what I was trying to do there is punch through the centre against all of those Seleucid infantry units, and we've managed to succeed at that. Also what's happened is Hades' general is now routed, so it looks like Hades' units have been really vulnerable now, and his units now started to mass rout. So what have we got left? We've got Mohamed of the Titans clan with the Greeks here holding this flank, and we've got Babu of the IoW clan holding this flank. But what we've managed to do as the Heaven clan, we've managed to punch a hole through the centre, and by doing that we've managed to basically isolate the two Titans members. So what we can try and do is focus all our firepower on one particular unit and then take out the other one. Mohamed's seen this, so Mohamed's now throwing in the towel. There's nothing much you can really do there apart from really surrender, because his army's now been absolutely isolated. We've got all of these fresh units all surrounded here. We've got SR's infantry, we've also got my infantry, and we've also got archers shooting the backs of these units. The only thing that's left is Babu, and Babu's now going to get his guys into a nice little, not testudo, but into a bit of a noob box. There's only one thing he can do, is just box up and try and hold back all of these infantry units. But he's not going to be able to do that for too long, because we've just got so much infantry units. The pure weight of our infantry should be able to crash through the centre of these Macedonian pikes. And once we've started to rout a couple of these Macedonian pikes, it's going to cause havoc, it's going to cause a mass rout, and then it's going to be GG. So I've just chucked in all of my infantry units right into the centre here. All I'm trying to do is just get all of these pikes pinned down, and hopefully at some stage what will happen is SR and my cav will come around the back here. As you can see, we'll come around the flank, going to cause a bit of a rout here. Once we've got around the back, all we need to do is just charge our cav into the backs of these Royal Pikemen, leap over their units. Once we're leaped over their units, that's going to cause these guys to drop them around. Look, in comes more Cornovii's infantry. His guys are only winded. More infantry's come around the flank, and there we go. That is GG. Good game to the Macedonians there. They managed to hold their line for longer than usual, but they've been mass routed, they've been killed. No idea why Babu's cav units were so far away at the back there. Should have really been helping out to defend against all of these infantry units. But great game, guys. So in the first battle of Titans versus Heaven, Heaven have been victorious. Heaven victor against the Titans. So let's have a look at the kill counts. Now, kills to myself, I'm pretty chuffed with that. 2,445 kills. Master Blaster SR 1,365 kills. Really nice play there from SR. He managed to hold his ground against both the Cataphract and against those Spartans. Let's have a look at Heaven Charlie, or AK Quinn in Dutch. 1,845 kills. And Heaven Cornovii, even though he brought 2 Roman cav, no idea why he did that, 1,382 kills. Let's look at the enemy. So Titans Mohamed, 896 kills. Titans Hades, 640 kills. Titans Elita, 356 kills. And Babu, 1,554 kills. So guys, great game. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a clear victory to Heaven. Really enjoy that. SR, if you're watching, leave a little thumbs up, leave a little comment. I'd love to see you taking part in one of these videos. Guys, as always, if you enjoy Rome Total War, if you like these videos, go check out my channel. There's shitloads of Rome Total War content, loads of 31k videos, loads of mods, loads of guides, loads of tutorials. So as always, guys, leave a little thumbs up, leave a little comment, and we'll catch you guys soon for the next installment of Rome Total War on Biscuits Total War. Cheers and bye now.